Welcome back to the Auction Brief, cutting through the narratives and the noise to bring you the best auction draft insight and strategy in the business. And now here's your host, Drew Davenport.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Auction Brief video series. This is episode 6, and I'm your host, Drew Davenport. And today, I want to talk about defining your auction draft early. Before we get started, don't forget you can find me on Twitter at DrewFBGAuctions, and you can find all my writing over at footballguys.com. Defining your auction early is incredibly important. It's one of the most important things you can do that has an effect on your final team. Defining your auction early goes hand in hand with dispelling some of the myths that surround auction drafting. Go check out episode 6, dropping on Thursday, of the Auction Brief podcast, where we discuss some of the myths that are pervasive in auction drafting. But here's what I want you to know from this video. Waiting is almost never the correct answer. I know this may run contrary to some of the things that you've heard about auction drafting, but I'm here to tell you that after over 20 years of auction drafting experience, the best thing you can do is nominate the top players that you want early in the draft so you can set your draft plan in motion one way or the other. By this point, you've already learned about par sheets, so get those players out early, figure out which way you're going to go, and it's going to help you fulfill the roster that you are after. As I discuss in this week's podcast, waiting on these players is almost never the right answer. Instead, nominate the top players which you believe are going to be the cornerstone of your draft strategy, and find out early whether or not you're going to land them or whether or not you're going to have to go to plan B or even plan C. All you need to take away from today's video is this: get your players out there early and find out if your draft strategy is going to work at all. This is by far the single biggest factor that will determine how your draft is going to go. Define your draft early and find auction success. The Auction Brief is adjourned.